down to YFN Lucci. Now, people don't know YFN Lucci. He'll be home in probably less than 3 months, 3.5 months, part of his plea deal. Now, a lot of people speculating like, did YFN Lucci snitch? No, he just had a better lawyer. This the same lawyer who got Freddie Gibbs from overseas off that shit that he had going on, as well as got Gucci Man the time that he got. You know what I'm saying? So, unfortunately, the YFN Lucci trial had started before Young Thug trial. You know what I'm saying? So YFN Lucci, he got the better lawyer. Now, don't get me wrong, Young Thug lawyers in there killing it. But I'm just saying, bro, for somebody to get 3.5 months, he already been in the YFN Lucci been in there well, almost 3 years. So if you know about the county in most states, it's 2 for 1 day. So in reality, if you saying his time served, that 3 years turned into 6 years, right? Then they gonna say he go off for parole in 3 months, which I heard that it's even a letter that they basically agreeing that that's what they gonna do, go ahead and give him parole. Now thing is, it's gonna be a sticky situation, gang. Very sticky. Like he gotta stay out of trouble. He gotta stay out of trouble. No, man, it's gonna be hard. He a rapper. For one, he a rapper. They target niggas like him. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if y'all seen this. Let me play this footage of him apologizing. He apologizing. Goes out to my friend James Allen and his family. Also, I want to apologize to my family and my friend for putting them through this stressful process. And I would also like to apologize to the court. And that's it. So, I want to say my heart goes out to my friend James Allen. That shit, they look at this lawyer like, yes, go ahead, say what we told you to say. You put people through a lot. You know what I'm saying? He apologized to his family. And there was something else on here I wanted to show you. Like he breaks his silence. My friend James Allen. That's what a lot of people were saying, but I actually got more so of the video. Just look at the memes going up. Nah, he bugged out, gang. Salute. Hit the like button for us and shit. We just wanted to come in, knock this live out real quick, let y'all know what's going on when it comes to the YFN Lucci. But I'm thinking though, bro, on some real shit. Like this, is my honest opinion. I think that Young Thug, bro, should have had that lawyer. Dude, as he been known to do what he do, family for sure. But like at first I thought this was like, look what it say, 3.5 months. I thought it was 3 years and 5 months in jail. You know what I'm saying? Then he'll be released. But when I found out that he was getting released in 3.5 months, I was like, yo, what type of lawyer? But look, a lot of people said this too, though, right? This what a lot of people were saying, gang. They said that that's what happens when you keep quiet. Y'all get in the comments and y'all let me know. But they say that's what happens when you keep quiet. You feel me? Like motherfuckers keeping quiet and shit, Brody. They ain't going for none of that. And his family. Also, I want to apologize. See, he apologized like his friend. He apologized to his friend for losing his life. But this is apology. I'm trying to find the actual footage. Oh, there you go. I know I had it up somewhere. But this one they said he was tripping though. They said he was tripping because he was smiling and shit.
Corrupt Organization Act, which carries a minimum sentence of 5 years, maximum of 20 years. Count 68, violation of the Street Gang Act, which carries a minimum 5 years, maximum 20 years. Count 69, violation of the Street Gang Act. That's minimum 5 years, maximum 20 years. Count 72, violation of the Street Gang Act. Minimum 5 years, maximum 20 years. Count 73.
Look at this lawyer. Not a worry. Not a worry, gang. You see his lawyer? Not a worry. You feel me? He like, we got this. Slam dunk. Pay attention.
Violation of the Street Gang Act. Minimum 5 years, maximum 20 years. Count 76, violation of the Street Gang Act. minimum 5 years, maximum 20 years. Count 77, felony murder. That's minimum life, maximum life without the possibility of parole. Count 78, aggravated assault.
You see all these counts this man got, bro? That's why I told people from when YFN Lucci first went to jail, he had about, I think, over 80-some counts. YSL case, Rico case, they had like over 50 counts. But more to the story is, not only did he have more counts on his Rico case, he had a murder on there also. You feel me? They end up dropping it, the murder to something else, right? Because it was his friend. But he got bond. He was able to get bond because of this lawyer right here, bro. That lawyer is the same lawyer who got Gucci Man off, who got Freddie Gibbs off, who got NBA Youngboy off. You feel me? Dude right there. Y'all get in the comments if y'all remember his name. I forget his name, but dude is definitely one of them high-profile attorneys, family.
That's minimum 1 year, maximum 20 years in custody. Count 78.
Salute to the chat.
Count, that's minimum 1 year, maximum 20 year. Count 80, aggravated assault, minimum 1 year, maximum 20 years. Count 81, aggravated assault, the minimum is 1 year, maximum 20 years. Count 82, aggravated assault, the minimum.
See, this one they was like social media was bugging out, you know, because he was smiling and shit. But they every dilly they gave him a note. You feel me? They gave him a note. Whatever said on that note, we seen him read it. The little note, and he got back to it.
1 year, maximum 20 years. Count 83, possession of a firearm during commission of a felony. That's 5 years consecutive. The minimum is life with the possibility of parole, followed by 5 years consecutive. And the maximum you're facing under these charges in the indictment would have been life without the possibility of parole, plus 220 years, followed by 5 years consecutive.
222 years? What the bro? They just said 222 years. This man was facing 222 years, and his lawyer ended up getting him a suspended sentence. Not just him, but them other guys on his case. But like I said, a lot of people said that this is what it takes in order to beat a RICO, bro. Or to even get this type of deal. You gotta keep your mouth closed. You gotta keep your mouth closed. YFN Lucci, he kept his mouth closed, bro. Him and his gang kept their mouth closed, gang. We ain't heard shit about them going out bad, bro. We ain't heard shit about them copping pleas and coming home before the rest of them come home, bro. We haven't heard that. You feel me? We haven't heard that shit. Let's get to it.
Understand that that's what you were initially charged with an indictment? Yes. Do you understand that the state has agreed to no cross counts 1, 68, 72, 73, 60, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, and 83?
Damn, that's damn near all the counts. They giving back all the counts. They taking back all the counts, bro. That's why I say, look at dude. He just looking like shit, yeah. Like, man, Thug, I think you can still hire him as your lawyer, gang.
Mr. Christian, the only charge under this recommendation is count 69. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
All right. Excuse me.
Have you reviewed this charge with your attorney and been advised of the minimum and maximum for the charge the one charge that you're pleading to?
Yes.
And do you understand that you have the right to either plead guilty or not guilty to this charge? And if you plead not guilty or remain silent, you may receive a jury trial.
Yes.
Have you had enough time to speak with your attorneys, Mr. Finland and Mr. Banks, about all the facts and circumstances known to you regarding the charges, including any potential defenses?
Yes.
Do you need more time to speak with your attorney?
No.
Are you satisfied with their services?
Yes.
Do you waive a formal reading of the indictment, Mr. Finland?
Yes.
Do you waive any or all defects in the indictment?
Yes.
Do you understand that this is a negotiated plea, which means the state will recommend the sentence of, under count 69, the recommended sentence is 20, serve 10, balance probated, and the special conditions of probationers are no street gang activity, no contact with any known street gang members or associates, no contact with The co-defendants, Reginald Carter, Artez Carter, Justin Ushery, Demonte Thomas, Tydrekus Glass, Rayvon Boyd, Leroy Pitts, Frondavious Hawkins, and Derek Adams. No.
And just think, just about a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, they offered this man 20 years, and he said, hell no. You feel me? They offered him 20 years. He said, hell no.
Guns.
We thought he was cooked. When they offered him 20 years, we like, he ain't take it, he going to trial. I'm like, yo, he cooked. But somehow, some way.
No gang affiliation or conduct associated with gangs on social media. You must be gainfully employed and no further violations of the law. Do you understand that those are the conditions?
Yes. And Ms. Christian, I just want to make sure that the record is clear. You said this was a negotiated plea. This is a negotiated recommendation, but it's officially and formally a blind plea. I want to make sure the record is clear.
Yes, Judge.
So it's a blind plea, meaning that they could change the table on him, but I doubt it because we already know the outcome.
Do you understand that those are the statutory conditions of your?
Yes.
Do you also understand that you are to have no violations of state or federal laws while serving out any portion of your sentence, to include any period of incarceration, to comply with all the rules maintained by county jail where you're housed, prior to being transported to any facility within the Department of Corrections where you're designated to serve out your sentence. Comply with all the rules maintained by any facility within the Department of Corrections where you are designated to serve out the remaining sentence. You waive a right to appeal any and all terms and conditions of this plea agreement and the sentence imposed, as well as any right possessed in connection with OCGA 244410. And if you violate any of the special conditions, that the state is free to revoke the sentence and recommend any penalty allowable under the law, including that you be sentenced to the maximum for the charge in which you plead guilty.
Yes.
Do you understand that in exchange for this plea, the state has agreed to write a letter to the Board of Pardons and Parole stating that the state would not object to the defendant being released from the Department of Corrections?
See, and this is how he gonna get out in 3.5 months, because they willing to write that letter. You know what I'm saying? Y'all heard that part. They willing to write that letter to probation or parole for a recommendation for him to get out. So it's almost a guarantee.
The first time you become eligible, or after 1/3 of the sentence has been served, whichever comes first. And you must comply with all lawful authorities of law enforcement while in custody and have no further incidents from the date of this plea in any penal institution.
Yes.
And the state is recommending you get credit for time served at the time that you voluntarily surrendered yourself into the Fulton County Jail on January 13th, 2021 to present.
Damn, that's 3 years to be exact. Today is the 23rd. You know what I'm saying? That's 3 years. 3 years credit.
Any time spent on house arrest as required by law.
Yes.
You understand that that is the recommendation that the state is making to the court?
Yeah.
Do you understand that the judge does not have to accept this recommendation and can sentence you to the maximum?
So excited to get laser hair removal today.
Yo,
Ideal image.
What's the word? N411 salute. Yeah, this is wild, family. But you know, shit, he got a better lawyer. Young Thug need that lawyer.
Do you understand that if you're currently on probation, your probation may be revoked based on you entering a guilty plea?
Yes.
Do you understand that if you are placed on probation of any kind, you cannot violate any criminal laws of any government unit or special conditions of probation without being subject to revocation of the balance of your sentence?
Yes.
Do you understand that you're not allowed to possess or use a firearm while on probation?
Yes.
Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, a guilty plea conviction will affect your immigration status and will result in deportation, just like a conviction at trial would? And this is true regardless of any advice your attorneys has given you.
Yes.
Deportation. So he not from this country? Yo, yeah. So I didn't know YFN Lucci wasn't from this country. They said deportation. He not from this country, gang? Where he from? Man, it's another 21 Savage situation, huh? I thought that the man was from, like, why is they saying deportation?
Do you understand that there may be other adverse or unfavorable consequences as a result of this guilty plea conviction, just as there would be from a conviction for trial? For example, your guilty plea may affect your right to vote, your right to hold public office, your right to serve on a jury, your right to obtain a passport, your right to...
Oh, that's just a formality? Oh, okay. All right, bet it.
receive, possess, or transport a firearm, or your ability to obtain employment.
Yes.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty to a felony, if you receive, possess, or use, or transport a firearm, you'll be guilty of a felony which carries a sentence from 1 to 15 years in prison?
You can repeat that?
Yes. Do you understand that if you plead guilty to a felony and you use, receive, possess, or transport a firearm, you will be guilty of a felony which carries a sentence of from 1 to 5 years in prison?
Yes.
Do you understand that you waive any and all defenses by entering a guilty plea?
Yes.
Do you understand that if you went to trial, you would have the right to a trial by jury, the right to see, hear, and confront witnesses called to testify against you, the right to testify yourself or remain silent and not incriminate yourself?
Yes.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're giving up the following rights: the right to trial by jury, the right to remain silent and not incriminate yourself, the right to confront witnesses against you, the right to assistance of counsel hired by you, or for court-appointed counsel if you couldn't afford counsel at the trial of your case, the right to the presumption of innocence, the right to testify on your own behalf and present other evidence, the right to subpoena witnesses and compel the production of evidence, the right to have the charges against you proven beyond a reasonable doubt, the right to appeal if convicted after trial.
Yes.
Has anyone forced, threatened, or promised you anything to get you to enter this guilty plea?
No.
Is it your decision to waive these rights and enter a guilty plea because you are in fact guilty?
Damn. Yes.
Yes.
How do you plead to count 69 in indictment?
Look at that dude, the lawyer, the black lawyer. He looked at him like, what the like, what are you doing? That lawyer looked at his ass like, hold the like, what are you doing? Look at him.
Yes.
Look at him.
To count 69 in indictment 23 SC.
Yeah, he got a good ass lawyer for sure.
21.
Yes.
Is this guilty plea freely and voluntarily given with full knowledge of the charge against you?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have a limited right to appeal this guilty plea conviction?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have 4 years from today to file a habeas corpus petition challenging the voluntariness of your plea?
Yes.
Yeah, y'all get the likes up.
Had this case gone to trial, the state would have shown that on December 10th, 2020, this defendant, Mr. Bennett, was gifted a 2021 Mercedes-Benz Maybach by his record label. The defendant drove that vehicle and picked up his co-defendants, Rayvon Boyd, Leroy Pitts, and the decedent, James Adams. Boyd, Pitts, and Adams traveled up from Miami, but were visiting the defendant, Mr. Bennett, in Atlanta. The defendant then drove around the city of Atlanta in that vehicle. Although Bennett himself did not personally possess a firearm, he was aware that there were firearms in the vehicle, to include 2 assault rifles. At some point, defendant Bennett drove to the area of Dimmick and People Street, located in Fulton County. While traveling down Dimmick Street, after passing several individuals who were standing on the street, this defendant stopped his vehicle. The individuals on the street and the individuals inside of his vehicle began shooting at each other. This shooting is captured on surveillance video, and the video reflects that after defendant Bennett stopped his vehicle, co-defendants Boyd and the decedent, Adams, opened the door to the car and began firing assault rifles at Kevin Wright, Nathan Bedford, and others that were on the street at the time. The video shows Nathan Bedford and Kevin Wright and others shooting back at the vehicle. During the exchange of gunfire, the decedent, James Adams, sustained a gunshot wound to his torso that caused his death. After shots were fired, defendant Bennett drove off in the Maybach, which then turned onto People Street. The individuals in the vehicle attempted to pull decedent Adams' body back into the vehicle, but were unsuccessful. As a result, they left his body on People Street and left the scene. After leaving the scene, he drove the vehicle to his father's house to conceal the vehicle following the shooting. The facts and evidence would further establish that defendant Bennett is an associate of the Bloods, a criminal street gang operating here in Atlanta and elsewhere. Defendant Bennett demonstrated his association in part by...
I thought YFN Lucci was a Crip, but they said that he a Blood. I'm confused as hell. I thought that he was a Crip, and then they were saying that Thug was a Blood, and they was, well, I don't know, man. It's news to me. They got it. They the court, so shit. I'm gonna go with what they said. They said that the man is a Blood.
Appearing in rap videos with members of the Bloods while displaying gang signs and wearing gang colors. The basis of the state's reduction judge is essentially this defendant has no criminal history. We have spoken with the family in this particular case, and they have maintained throughout the course since this incident occurred that they...
Maroon 5. Damn.
Recommendation, they are more than amenable to the defendant's request at this point, and they have also, as you are aware from the facts, is the defendant's level of culpability in this particular incident. He was the driver of the vehicle, and he didn't have a weapon during the time of this incident. And this is out of the 80-something counts in the indictment, Judge, this is the one incident that this particular defendant is a part of. So given those things, we did take that into consideration, and that's the recommendation that we are presenting before the court.
Wow.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Christian. Mr. Findling or Mr. Banks, would you like to tell me anything about your client and share anything about the plea?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
That lawyer right there, bro.
Your Honor, as you've heard, Mr. Bennett is 32 years old. And of course, we've been to you through the course of the year. We've been together on this case with Your Honor for years. He is the father of 4 children who he assumes the task, the welcome task of being their sole provider, and he's taking that seriously. He's well documented what his profession is, and that is that he is a professional entertainer. I want to be clear with the court that we just didn't talk to Mr. Bennett and just take his words on these things. We've talked to literally corporate executives in California about him. We've listened to his music. You know, we've been talking to these jurors about listening to rap and hip hop, and we spent countless hours watching videos and listening to his music, trying to see the connection it has to the case. We've employed the best experts in America on that issue, on the lyrics issue. We've employed the best experts in America on the gang issue.
Yeah, and that dude right there look just like YFN Lucci. I thought I was tripping, gang. Look at him. And look at that. Bro, I would thought that was fucking a clone, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, gang. This is like the old YFN Lucci.
I think that the court will notice that Ms.
They didn't clone Tyrone, gang. They didn't clone Tyrone. What the fuck is going on? I thought that this was YFN Lucci.
I would tell the court, as we've shared with counsel, we hired literally the best civil engineers in America to analyze what transpired on December 10th. And I think
they didn't clone Tyrone, man.
Number one,
fucking crazy.
Is it possible to with 100% certainty say who initiated the shooting, but I think it's fair to say that the argument can be made by professionals that these other people actually initiated the shooting based on expert testimony. But what's critical about that and what has transpired, we've been very open with the court, and the state has acknowledged, and that is the other folks that were involved, some of the names, I'm not going to besmirch their reputations, as the court has heard, now have literally open murder cases going to trial. One of them had been charged with criminal attempt to commit murder. These were these other folks. And so there was a lot going on in that particular area at the time. And these are all the things that contextualize why this.
So bottom line, before we get up out of here, gang, bottom line is this. This guy right here, this the dude that got NBA Youngboy off. That got NBA Youngboy instead of been sitting in prison. He been on house arrest for years. It's him. He got Freddie Gibbs off. When Freddie Gibbs caught that case overseas, it's him, bro. He got Gucci Man. Gucci Man was supposed to do a whole lot more time than he did. It's him, bro. So like, man, it's unfortunate that YFN Lucci caught his case before Young Thug, so it would have been a conflict of interest, you know. But now maybe since he's freed up on this case, maybe he can go help out the YSL Rico case. What y'all think, man? Y'all get in the comments and let me know what y'all think. It's Duff for the Cloud Chaser TV. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, share this on Facebook and Twitter. Gang.